Hi Leo, welcome back to my channel. It is Krista, as always, to do your February 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is for Leo Sun, Leo Moon, and Leo Rising signs. Guys, I've begun bi-monthly readings for your signs. So the first 2 weeks of February are out. Do check that out for the first 2 weeks forecast. And I'll be uploading before mid-month. There'll be the second half of February mid-month reading, or bi-weekly, however you want to look at that. But this is for the whole month. We're going to do quite an in-depth reading today. We're going to do a nice Celtic cross for you, and we're going to qualify that with another tarot deck, in addition to 4 oracle cards for additional information. So Leo, what do you need to know for February 2020? Messages for Leo. All right, let's get your cards out. I will be looking at the bottom of the deck as always for additional information. Usually I find that really helpful for behind the scenes or just energetically what could be going on that may not be present in the spread directly. Either way, I find looking at the bottom of the deck extremely helpful. So we are going to do that today. And as always, I will be holding these cards up to the camera so you can see them in detail with me. Wow, so you have a lot of major arcana here. 1, 2, 3, a 4, 5, a 6. Did I miss one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So lots of major arcana going on here. You have a couple of aces, which is portending or suggesting that there could be a new workplace or home at this time. Leo, what is really going on? So we're going to look here behind the scenes. Our first ace is, I am going to suggest, is going to be behind what's going on here. So action is necessary and new opportunities provided to you, offered to you. You're presenting yourself with a new opportunity, something really new and fresh, a new passion being brought to fruition, some new behavior or new action that will really switch things up. There could be a new awareness or understanding of a spiritual nature as well here. And then underneath these, so qualifying the Ace of Wands would be both Judgment and the 5 of Cups. So yeah, you might have had to go through something difficult here, a second chance at an emotional situation, or a feeling of loss or abandonment. But taking action here toward your own self-interest, self-advocacy could be very, very important here for you as well. This is in the background. Let's get into it. So the card representing you is, of course, Justice, the number 8 in the major arcana. Justice is really looking at, what is being served. There could be some karmic energy behind here. Something, we do have the sun here, which is how other people are seeing you. So it could be like something is being exposed, something being brought to the light, new behavior based on information or something being exposed or illuminated. Justice really could be speaking quite literally about, say, a judicial matter, a legal matter, something like that. If that's the case, we are seeing an end to problems here, an end to a judicial issue, a matter of justice that has gone awry or needing to be reset. So the 10 of Swords really is the best way for me to offer its energy, is to suggest that this is overkill, this is too much, I am going to suggest that something is going to be righted that was wronged here. So again, Justice representing you, crossing that is the 10 of Swords. So I do feel like something is going to be righted here that was, imbalanced to some degree, one degree or another. So here as the foundation, sort of behind the whole matter, is the Pisces ruled moon. This is often associated with Cancer, and I get it. The Cancer rules the moon in astrology. However, Pisces rules the moon in tarot, and we are looking at an ascension number. We're looking at number 9 here with the 8 and the 1 together. You know, I think there are hidden secrets here. We have both the moon and the sun in the same reading. We do have justice. We have new behavior here. We have a gift. There's a major decision over here. Perhaps a sacrifice. A Cancer individual could play a part, at least by the end of the month for you. So lots of characters, lots of intense, say, personalities, but certainly Pisces, you know, Pisces rules 12th house. So we're looking at major endings and beginnings, as we see here with the 10 of Swords. So something that really was a monkey on our back would be another way to frame that, is probably behind the situation, something that was hidden, something that was a secret, something that was in the shadows, something we didn't want to own up to, something we just didn't really want to talk about or even think about. We aren't really dealing with a lot of swords besides this 10, which is quite interesting. So it's something, and you know, we do have something very practical and then something very real and realized here. So something that really was on your mind that was upsetting, troubling, something in the shadows you didn't want to talk about or discover, I think is really just going to make an appearance here. And I think that this could be the major like a major decision, right? Like we do have the Lovers over here in the near future. So whether this is a decision you are going to make or that's going to be made for you here, I think a lot of this, because of course we are going to have to rely on our own sense of self, a sense of personal strength. I do see, because whenever we see Judgment here, we see like a second coming, we see another, you know, a second chance, another opportunity. I do think it's something that maybe you wanted to be over for some time, something you wanted to bury here, you know, went to the underworld, as it were. But this is going to rear its head, whether this is in your favor or not. Here in the recent past is a new opportunity. So this is the Ace. First of all, the artwork, just wow. I really can't get over this deck. I've been using it for years and it's just so beautiful. But the Ace of Pentacles is, you know, it's a new opportunity. This could literally have been a gift. This could have been an opportunity that you provided for yourself or that was given to you. It could be a physical gift. It could be a gift of health. It could be a new opportunity within business, investment, or finance as well. Crowning you is a really nice victory card. Now it's sort of on the minor arcana end, but a victory nonetheless. So this is nice to see for you here that no matter if this is upsetting, if the Justice card amounts to be upsetting in any way, there could be a small victory at least for you. We do know that it mirrors here. It's atop the shadowy moon here. So the victory could be not necessarily as intense as you wanted it to be, you know, because it's surrounded by so much major arcana, but a victory nonetheless. You could be put into the spotlight here. You could feel victorious, despite any opposition. Here in your near future, we're dealing with our Gemini ruled Lovers card. So this is really asking, and it's so interesting. Look, we have both the Sun and the Moon. We have both Lovers and the Hanged Man. A major decision around illumination of something that has been maybe undercover, behind the scenes, unjust to some degree, where sacrifice or surrender may need to be employed here. This is what we're seeing. It is going to be affecting this major decision here for you in the near future. I would say that this is probably going to come to a head by the end of the second week of February, Leo. Obviously, in its most, I guess, literal sense, this could be an issue involving lovers, a relationship, a very close, intimate relationship. But really, Lovers is talking about partnerships really of any kind, right? It's our mirror self. And this could again, it's a general reading. Use the information as you see fit, disregard what doesn't. But if this isn't about an intimate relationship at all, and this is about something that's going on within you, finding a just way to organize your thoughts and feelings, for example, at least by the end of the second week of February, a decision really needs to be made here, or a decision will be an opportunity to make this long-term decision will be given to you. This is Mercury ruled. So we know that Gemini is a Mercurial planet. There is a lot of mutable, or it's at least mutable mode. So this could have to do with a lot of give and take. We have Gemini next to a Libra ruled card here with Justice, for example. So actually, forgive me, that's Leo ruled. So this could have to do with a Leo you or someone having to rearrange their sense of self. There's a lot of heart work involved here, but it's interesting. I was going to say Libra, but it's not. It's Leo and Gemini. Leo, if you have Gemini in your chart, first 5 planets, definitely check out the Gemini reading. That could be helpful for you this month. But certainly a major decision is on tap for you. So this is the energy that you are expressing. This is what you are, consciously expressing to your environment. And this is 9 of Pentacles. This is really nice, independently wealthy energy. This is someone who doesn't need anyone or anything. They're not stingy, but they're also not cranky. They're not lording their wealth and well-being over others. This is just someone who's like pretty cozy, pretty happy and healthy. Really nice expression of independence. You are expressing yourself as an individual who has a great deal of well-being, health, and financial acumen. Here is how others are seeing you, and this is as yourself. I mean, no one really expects anything different from you. This is Leo ruled sun. So successful, charismatic, very creative, able to light up a room. So you're coming across, both the way you intend to and the way you're being seen here is very, very positive, right? I think, so that being said, for the beginning of the month around an issue of justice and overkill, at least you're coming across and others are seeing you as a very bright, successful entity. And here in the hopes and wishes, or hopes and wishes position, this the Hangman. So I think you may be waiting for someone else to give something up here, believe it or not. Your hopes and wishes, because you are feeling victorious, because you are coming across as the sunny person, because you already feel pretty luxurious and wealthy, I think you may be expecting someone else to bend to your will here. That could be your hope and wish. It's highly unlikely that it's your wish as a successful, well-to-do, charismatic individual to have to make a sacrifice or a surrender to something. That's that would have to involve a little bit of humility here. If this is you, however, Leo, and you are willing to do that for the greater good here, or to exact justice, or to, pay that karmic debt, as it were, I think that this could be a very, very high calling for you at this time, believe it or not. If you were to make a sacrifice or surrender to something, I'm going to suggest illumination of something, the bringing about of a truth, or a new possibility, a new way of looking at things, a new direction. So surrender, sacrifice, another term with the Hangman, of course, is perspective, right? Perspective may be necessary at this time, whether it's you or another individual or group of people. So here with our possible outcome, we know by the time we get to the outcome card, this is a possible outcome. If you were to follow this direction and do what you are, continue to do what you're doing, is, the Cancer ruled Chariot here. So this is all about the light and the dark sides, which would really be about you coming to terms with carrying both the light and dark sides of yourself into the future. This could be about travel. This could be about how to travel, methods of travel. This could be about airports, airplanes, trains, cars, travel in general. But ultimately, we're looking at another victory card, right? We're looking at a sort of a small victory over here and then a major victory here in your outcome. It could have to do with the Cancer individual or 4th house. It could have to do with the family to some degree as well. So I'm going to use my little mini tarot and put an extra layer. We're going to qualify this read with another layer. Give me 1 second, and we will look at what could be behind some of these energies here, or flesh these cards out a little bit. So it's a good time to let you guys know that I'm posting daily free tarot readings on my Instagram. That's at RadicalAngel33. And you can always write me directly for a personal tarot reading. If you find the general readings too vague, or they're not helpful, or you have a question that you need answered right away, you can contact me either on Instagram or email. And all of my information is below in the description box. All right, so let's qualify this Celtic card spread for Leo. February 2020. Alrighty. These are the world's cutest cards, I swear. All right, folks, let me lay these out for you, and then I'll hold them up as I did before. Wow, we see the Chariot again, guys. So a major victory, some healing. Yeah, there is some heartbreak here. You may be putting on... We'll get to that in a second. That's very, very interesting. And there's the Two of Cups. So let's take the 3 bottom cards here. Yeah, as I mentioned, a second chance, something from your past. We have the 6 of Cups. Here's Justice again. Major karmic issue having to do with your past is what I'm seeing here. Not being able to make a move, not wanting to make a move, being stuck. Very, very protective. Very, very protective of what you have, what you've earned, your reputation. So on top of Justice and the 10 of Swords is what we had for the first layer. High Priestess crossed by the 3 of Wands. High Priestess is probably one of the most potent cards of the major arcana. I know you can say that for all of them technically, but there's just something about the High Priestess that is just unmatched really in all the other cards. I think the closest you can get to that in the minor arcana would maybe be the Queen of Cups, but just no, this is just overpoweringly, this is enormous intuition. This is intuitive wealth, intuitive acumen. This is also so very closely associated, in addition to the High Priest, for example, with religion, with the esoteric world, with the occult. I would say that there is a lot of hidden information, intuitive or hidden information here as well. So again, we're looking at issues of the hidden, the unrevealed, the concealed, the shadow, and then the 2 of Wands here, right? So which direction are you going to take is essentially what this is asking here. After using your intuition, in what direction are you going to go after this overkill, or after having been stabbed in the back or stabbing someone else in the back, God forbid? Here we have a major arcana on top of a major arcana. We have the Wheel of Fortune on top of our moon. So I really feel, as I keep saying, something's on repeat here, and I think its cycle might be up soon. I'm very confident this is a karmic issue at this point between at least one other person that is close to you or was close to you in your past. And the time, that wheel, because it is fixed energy ruled, right? It's all ruled by the fixed energy signs, means that something will never be the same again. It's time for the cycle to be over. We cannot put this off. We cannot physically, we cannot economically, or even practically put something that's in the shadow off any longer. We do have the Chariot, so another victory card on top of the Ace here. Of course, this was in your recent past position. It's hard not to think this doesn't have to do with a Cancer individual, but let's just say it isn't, and it's fourth house energy. It's still the home. It's still the family. It could still have to do with a mother or child. It could still have to do with the way you travel, next stage of life, your next investments, what you're investing in. As I said, there is a sense of having, you know, the light and the dark sort of on even ground. There is an equilibrium, right, that justice brings to the table. But it is interesting to note that the Chariot here is shown to us twice. We also have the Empress here on top of our Six of Wands, and this is what's crowning you. So this is what could very possibly be working for you. And yeah, so a lot of really positive energy here, right? We have, you know, the Venus ruled Empress. A lot of bounty, a lot of abundance. There is a sense of overflowing emotions, overflowing, I would say, just essentially anything that you've put time and effort into, anything that you feel has to do with love and beauty and truth, right? This is all about the feminine. This is a feminine mystique. This is about the feminine nature. This is very much about cycles. Again, looking at the world, the Wheel of Fortune, rather. Something is on repeat that we really need to take to task here. Because like I said, this small victory could lead to a larger victory here. Again, we are dealing very likely with a water sign. This is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces on top of our Gemini ruled lovers. So yeah, sweet, gentle, somewhat insecure communication could be happening here around this major decision, or this could have to do, the major decision could have to do with this communication effort. But someone very sensitive is involved here. Of course, it could be you. It could be another person. We do have the Star, a great deal of healing. You've probably been through something difficult here. But again, this is what you're projecting, and then the Star on top of it, wishes, hopes, wish fulfillment, dreams, and so forth, dreams coming true. So I think that the way that you want to be seen is being fulfilled for you here. The way that you want to be seen, this is how you believe that others are seeing you, you know, as a potential healer, as someone who has a lot of options. A lot of healing options, a lot of opportunities. Of course, this is Aquarius ruled 11th house energy, so it's fixed mode. It's centered around healing. But there is the Uranus ruled component here, so there could be sudden changes or sudden upset as well. You may not be entirely convinced of what you're conveying to others. And we can sort of see that here, because even though others are seeing you in this really nice light, or something has come to light here, there is certainly a broken heart issue. There is something there's damage done, something that, you know, it's the Three of Swords is generally kind of what doesn't kill us makes us stronger here. But it is very interesting because just as much as others are sort of seeing you in this really positive, successful light, they recognize, or it's going to be almost impossible to miss, the fact that there is some sort of hidden hurt or old wound there as well. So here we have the Queen of Wands. We have Aries ruled Queen of Wands on top of this Hanged Man. So the surrender or sacrifice or new perspective could be necessary. There could be, again, it is on top of the Sun. There is the issue of the hidden here. So something could be illuminated and brought to light by an Aries or because of an Aries at this time. And then, yeah, I mean, looking eye to eye, seeing eye to eye, being able to speak the same love language here at the end with the Two of Cups. There could have been a major separation or fight or upset between you and a very close loved one. I would say some pretty significant changes are on the way for you, Leo, just because it looks like a karmic debt needs to be paid or needs to be honored or at least acknowledged. I would say that, how many have I got here? 2. I would say that passing the buck is no longer an option. I would say that personal responsibility is exceptionally potent at this time. I would say that you may be able to fool someone some of the time, but you can't fool everyone all of the time. That could be part of it here. And I'm not saying you're trying to fool other people. I think that there are some things that sometimes we just don't want to acknowledge in our own lives, or we try to avoid, or we don't think we're ready yet, and that type of thing. So, and then we have this one, and I've only got one more deck, and then we'll look at your oracle cards here. All in all, I don't see anything like terribly daunting. However, I do see that some work needs to be done, particularly around an old or chronic issue. Something that has to do with your past. We do have the 6 of Cups over here, remember. We have the 5 of Cups, loss or disappointment, 6 of Cups, someone from our past. We have Justice twice. So yeah, something is trying to right itself. We have the Wheel of Fortune around the hidden or the shadows. We have this broken heart around the revelation or success or illumination. So it might be time to own something here. Either you or someone close to you. So reconciliation, someone from your past is returning to your life. I mean, wow. New love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. I'm going to suggest that the new love has to do with new perspective, a new way of dealing with things. It does almost sit across from lovers, for example. The way that you communicate, being insecure, shy, but intuitive. It could just be that you are a little bit shy about getting to the bottom of things, or you don't know what awaits you in the future, so you're reluctant, but you need to take that leap of faith here, Leo. It's the time. So we have Snake, which is transmutation. Snake really has a couple of different motivations here. There is the natural component, which is cycles. There's the shedding of the skin, which I think is the most important one concerning your reading. You want to shed what doesn't belong to you anymore. You want to escape the past. It's time for this karmic debt to be over. But of course, we also know that some mythologies have, Snake is someone who's sly, someone who's sneaky, someone who wants to get away with something, someone who can get away with something. So just beware here. I want to mention that Snake is the same number as the Lover's card. So just beware about any issues having to do with Mercury, Gemini, cycles, or shedding of the skin, shedding the past. We do have Breathe. This is a really important meditation card. I don't see a rush into anything right here in this reading for you, but I do see a profound decision does need to be made by you. I think that you can go within and help yourself out by looking within for answers at this time. And then ideas and inspiration. This shows up, I find, mostly when we need an opinion. We need a professional opinion. We need to, whether that's in person or a book or online, however you want to involve yourself in that, but definitely getting some more input, looking very carefully at an issue that perhaps you've been carrying around or feels like a burden. You could be given information that is exceptionally helpful to you at this time, but you really need to be willing to go do it, right? And that is your reading, Leo. I'm wishing you all the best. Make sure you check out your bi-weeklies and follow me on Instagram. You get a free reading every single day. So until we meet in the next video, take excellent care, guys. Bye for now.